Well, good morning. I'm facing a little bit of the sun today, so I'm going to give a little bit of a shadow there. I stopped for a second. I'm over by an archery in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I was just thinking about something, and I just thought, I don't know how to really share this thought. So October 1st, we're getting closer to an election, of course. Everybody knows that. So here's my thought. So if I voted for a person, maybe a former president, and we never ever talked after that, after the election, the thought is that that would be because you voted for a person based off of gender and race and the feeling of a little bit of guilt and the hopes of an equal world. And because of those reasons, there's a really good possibility, not a probability, a possibility, that if that comes to fruition, that there's a really good possibility that we'll lose this country if we continue to stay in that thought pattern. Okay, I'll give you an example. It's just a thought, and I think it's fair enough that I can have a thought and share it with whoever cares. The thought is this: I was created by God through a process of where I was a nucleus in a fallopian tube, and there was a combination of a donor that fertilized this little nucleus, which lights up. Now they found that when that interaction happens, that there's a little bright light that goes with it. And then my process started in a fetal, is what we refer to as a fetal process, internal. And then I was born into the world. So in the race of fertilization, it's an understanding that I won, just like you won your race, and everybody else that's on this planet won their races. Now, in those races, you were the contender and you won, which meant you weren't equal to all the other sperm that were chasing to be created. There was no equality during that race. You won the race. And that was because it was about you and your journey, your life journey. There is no equality, and there should not be an equality. It starts like this. After the election, whoever you voted for, it doesn't matter to me. It does, but it doesn't. Because I really don't have a say on who you vote for, and who you vote for is your personal business. So when you're sitting in your church or your community and you're listening to the pastor, the priest, your clergyman, your director, as they're talking, ask yourself, are you equal with them? Your highest belief. Are you equal to God? No. If you believe that, you're misled. Are you equal to that pastor, that clergy person? No. They have schooling. There's something about them. There's not an equal attachment. And if it's a person of clergy, use the example, a minister versus another minister versus another minister. If you were sitting and listening to three ministers talk, would you say that they're all equal? No, because there's not a thing such as equality. Understand, my origin on earth starts inside my mother. My mother was a female, and even if my origin comes that I was developed in a petri dish, I would have been harvested from my mother, who's a female. So I spent the first beginning of my life under leadership from a woman who was not equal to me in any shape or form. She was my dictator, my leader, my ruler, my protector, because the male source in my life was out making money to keep everything going so that my mother would be able to protect me throughout the beginnings of my life. We do have a separation in life. As humans, we separate in our lives and we start our own beginnings, is what we call them, our own beginnings. And what's happened is we've had this change on the thought patterns of, well, you know what, I'm not happy where I'm at. I made some bad choices, or I've made some great choices. I'm really happy where I'm at, but I'm scared to death that because of those choices, I'll lose where I'm at. So we live a life of fear. The truth of everything is, the truth is that you, as well as me, and everything that comes from the past or the future is short-lived if we belong to our Creator. God, in my case, who sent his only Son, Jesus Christ, in my belief. Now, if you believe in some other religions, that's your prerogative. We get prerogatives. But leadership, I've heard so much about the unfairness of women in our world, but you know what? This country, the United States of America, we've recognized that, and we've voted on equality, and just as much equality for saying what's fair and what's not fair, what's equal. It's a myth. It's a myth. There's no equality. It doesn't exist. It can't be. I cannot be equal to anybody else because I ran my own race and I survived and I won, and all the people that I raced against, they were my equals. They all came out at the same time and I won the race, and then that's it. You're an equal only to the people, to the source of the beginning in which you won the race. And the rest are gone. Now, we have ties with families and we have genetics that way. Alterations, it's a personal choice in everyone's life. Who you are, what you become, that's your choice. But you can't be upset with me if I don't choose to look at it that way. It's my thought. It's a little bit long, but it's my thought for today. And I'll cut it short with thinking about that. So if we have an election and we never talk again, it's going to be because we'll be under a different type of control in our country. And whoever you voted for is going to determine whether or not you will be speaking to me again in the future or not, because it'll be as a direct cause of what our outcomes will be. I'm disappointed in a lot of ways. I believe that we need unions 100%. I believe that having good fellowship and living a life where we can share each other's thoughts, I believe in that. I believe that the first and most important thing is where I started, where I talk about a Creator and life. And that's really our responsibility to the world. We're all leaving. Life is not a permanent event. We are all going to die, and how you guys decide whether to continue on in this country the way it is, which is not good. We do need borders. Simple. You're not going to allow these people that are coming in. You wouldn't allow me to come into your house, to sit at your table, and to open up the refrigerator and start eating your food for very long. Because I know some of you are thinking, hey, I would do that. I definitely, but you wouldn't do it for very long. That's the beauty of this country, because we have to work together. Now, it's really important to understand one true factor, is that Barack Obama, President Obama, did his terms. In America, we're a period of 8 years is the total, is what this country has decided on. President Obama has done his terms, and he needs to step away. And you need to stop fantasizing about this man. He's a dangerous man because of his connections to Hollywood. And that's a true story. I've been there. I've seen it. I know about it. And I'm just sharing that with you. Quick thoughts. Lasted 12 minutes. Sorry about that, but it's just something I'm trying to get out and figure out what this is all about. God bless you, and have a really good day.